to the LP show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the LP show. I'm Luke, and this is my good friend Blano.
What up, y'all? What up? It's Blano here, otherwise known as Pilks. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Luke and I we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, but today our first session, I think we're gonna cover like how we know each other, and why we kind of want to do this podcast session and why we want to do this show.
Absolutely,
again,
absolutely. So Blano, let's start by telling people a little bit, like you just said about ourselves, and we can kind of like cover some
Right.
hobbies of ours and stuff. Something we've been we've been doing for the last few weeks now. Excuse the cough. I've been sick, so moved to Tulsa, but we'll jump into that a little bit later. But yeah, go ahead.
We'll
Blano.
get there. We'll get there. Yeah.
What's a big hobby that you and I've been gandering on
We've
recently?
been playing. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. So you got me back into WoW again. I spent, I don't know what, 2.5 years off, right?
Yeah,
3 years,
yeah.
and then you roped me back into the glory that is WoW, huh? We've been grinding the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I think I'm leveling 4 different alts at once right now.
What did you hit 85 on first?
I think it was the Rep Pally, no? It was the Rep Pally.
Just to
And
clarify, not to interrupt you, but just to clarify,
yeah,
Catawwow, not retail.
This is Catawwow. Yeah, this is Cataclysm Classic. Retail is dog shit, by the way. I'm throwing that out
Yeah,
there, dude.
it's not the
is
best.
terrible.
But what stay on subject here. What
Yeah.
what's your first 85?
My first 85 was the Paladin, and I spec'd Retribution, which is the DPS spec, right?
Yeah.
It's the melee DPS.
For everyone who doesn't know.
I hated it.
So what are the three different specs I guess you have within the Paladin? For folks
So you have your Holy. No, it's a good question. Good question. Some people don't know WoW, right?
Right.
So Paladin has Holy, which is your healer.
Kind of your support class.
Your healer based. Yep. It's the support spec for sure. You have Prot or Protection Pally, which is your tank. They're the ones that soak all the damage, right? They're the ones that take all the damage for the team. And then you have Retribution, which is your DPS spec, the one that deals out the damage.
And typically, I play DPS specs. I have a
Right,
85
right.
rogue myself.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I've also got an 85 DK, which I rolled blood on, but
Okay.
haven't really geared him up too much.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I love how in the past week, what is it, 8 days, you went from semi-geared PVE to like almost full raid
Yeah,
spec. in like a week.
I would say it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. I think you're exaggerating a little bit because you haven't got a piece of gear in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't, dude.
Just to be honest.
It's tragic. Watching everybody roll on the DPS,
Yeah.
So, you asking about like a couple of hobbies that we have that
Right.
I have that we together. What's a hobby that you really like besides WoW?
I mean, you know, but I'll explain it to everybody else. Obviously, my wife, daughter, and I all live a very active lifestyle. So, we try to stay in the gym, stay active, and stuff like that. Stay outside.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't really.
You be hitting me up.
We're kind of like anti people, though. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Okay.
Like to do stuff outside, but also very homebody.
Sure. You like to do stuff outside, as in you like to hang out as a family, go for runs, for hikes, for walks, but you want to do that as a family,
precisely.
not around everybody.
Yeah, exactly. If we.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
That's the goal in life, is just to eventually be able to move away from society, and do things
Go
like
homestead
this with
somewhere in
Erica,
Yeah.
Yeah. I told her we'll have to bring her on this for sure.
You think she'll want to?
Oh yeah, think about it. She's bachelor's in psychology, dude. We could use.
She did get her degree.
Yeah, we could use that. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing to bring up. What if we got more people on?
That's gonna be
special features.
No, yeah, that's gonna be a big thing for sure. It's just to be able to have good conversations with, between us two, obviously, but with other people too.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely
Mm-hmm.
like a big point I wanted to bring up in this too. And just to be able to have,
Having people come on.
yeah, and just to be able to get their perspectives on things, right? Because obviously we have
Sure.
our perspectives, and
Sure.
that's what we're kind of voicing on this show. So, but what are some of your hobbies outside of World of Warcraft?
Um. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. So obviously but everybody else doesn't know. Faith, my belief in God is paramount to my life. Um, and I'm not going to consider it
Not
a
as
hobby, but it's something I look forward to, which is
Not to
um.
interrupt you, but sorry,
Go ahead.
but I was about to say not
You're
as
good.
big, obviously, in my life, but definitely big still for sure.
Hey, no, I hear you. And it's not something that I can force on you. But that's another conversation for another day, right?
Right.
Um, if it's not wow. I do like to go to the gym if I'm not so exhausted from work, right?
We
Working at a
used to
jail,
actually
working
work out together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I still have that video, by the way.
Yeah.
Deadlifting 315 for 5. That
Yeah,
was a
that's probably one
wild
of your
time.
best deadlifts, dude.
It was,
Honestly,
dude. It was.
what were
I
we?
mean, 5
23,
reps,
24?
315. Oh shit, dude.
Because I hurt
I
my
would have been
back.
22.
I hurt my back when I was like
You did.
24, and I was doing
Yeah,
435.
mm-hmm. I remember you were
Crazy
just coming
amount.
out of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a lot
crazy
of weight.
amount.
You were what? A buck 60, a buck 70,
Probably, yeah,
maybe a buck 80 at
175,
the time.
172,
Yeah.
175.
I mean, but you're putting up almost 2 times your weight, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
A lot of weight.
young. Got a little
Right.
older now. The
Right.
joints hurt, but but yeah, but like we were just talking about, we're definitely planning on bringing in some guests. And
Yeah.
it'd be awesome if people also commented into the section or comment section, and
Yeah.
gave us
Let
some
us
sort
know.
of what they think we should discuss, because that'd be awesome too, get the community involved.
Right. What are some burning topics that you guys have, What are some things that you want to hear about and talk about,
Right.
That's a good point. Good point.
Because
Um,
like you've seen in the intro video, it's one of those things where we have a lot of things we want to discuss. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, we
there's
do.
the list goes on, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, instant gratification, over sexualization on everything in life,
Mm-hmm.
and it just goes on, right? Like, so that's it's gonna be fun for sure to be able to discuss those things, but like Blano just said, Pilks just said, um, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody else has any other topics they would like to see us discuss.
Right. And even their thoughts in those topics too that we will eventually discuss,
Right.
Obviously people have differing opinions, some people are on one side of the fence on one thing while somebody else might be on the complete opposite side. But being able to see different outlooks and aspects of certain topics, I think is going to be really exciting to venture into,
Yeah, I think it's going to be super cool, dude.
It really
I
is.
got some guests I could think just off the top of my head that would definitely get on with us, like Drew,
I'm thinking.
Ben.
I was thinking Drew. Yeah, Clark.
Ben would definitely
Clark would get on
on.
for sure.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
said, Erica,
probably
obviously.
Harrison, Denzel,
Yeah,
Erico.
we could
Yeah.
definitely get Harrison on for sure. He's always at his computer
Oh yeah.
working, but
Working two different jobs, right?
well, no, that's
Yeah.
Denzel. But yeah, there's a lot of different perspectives.
Right. Right. And just and it's not like we're here debating, right? We're just here talking about like real life topics.
Real life
We're not
stuff,
trying to
yeah.
sway somebody's opinion. Yeah. We're just talking about it. What are people thinking about XYZ?
Right.
But no, I got a question for you though.
Yeah,
I was just thinking. So, we've talked a little bit about what we want and like what our hobbies are, but I kind of want to touch base on how we know each other,
Yep.
right? So,
Oh,
Luke,
play it out. You like
yeah,
you,
let's
you
get
like
it,
you
big
like
dog.
to tell this story. Yeah, okay,
Good
so
one.
man, it was what, ninth grade, was it? We were in Warren Central. I think he came to
Yeah,
second semester, ninth grade, I believe it was.
yeah.
Pilk came from Butler, Indiana, and I lived in Indianapolis
Oh,
myself.
town.
And we had a
Mm-hmm.
group of friends. We all hung out with and stuff like that. And when I first met him, his I thought his name was Chuck, so I used to call him Chuck.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it caught
Everybody
yeah,
called me
it
Chuck.
caught on for sure. So everybody started calling him
It
Chuck, and
did.
then his actual name is Blaine. So obviously I didn't want to keep calling him Chuck because he became part of our friend group and shit like that. So I was like, we'll add the O to Blaino, so it sounds a little bit cooler. You know what I mean? And
That stuck.
yeah,
That is name
anything else
stuck
you'd want to add?
forever.
That's pretty much like you said. We sat next
No,
to
that's
some
basically
kid,
it.
that sold weed and
Hmm.
shit like that.
We did. No, it was. I mean, you were like one of the first people I met, right,
Right.
in high school, and obviously, like other people are gonna see this too. But like when people get out of high school, like 99% of the people you went to high school with, you don't
Yes.
talk to. You don't. You just don't. And we went to a
Yeah.
high school with what we graduated with what 1,200, 1,100, something like that. I can
Yeah.
name off of one hand
1,200
how many I
people.
talked. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
still
wild.
to this
So,
day, even Blano or Pilks, isn't it? So to give them the story behind that real quick, the name.
which story?
Well,
Which one, Blano or Pilks?
Pilks, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
Because
I
they'll hear
got
me
you.
call you Blano, they'll hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so obviously you've already talked about the Blano one. You actually came up with the Blano one years ago, right? And that one's
10
stuck.
years, dude.
It's stuck. Everyone calls me Blano, right? Um, so at my work, I work corrections, and we talk to each other by last name. That's how we know each other. But my last name's Pilkington, right? I know how to say it because it's my last name. Other people don't know how to say it, so
I
they'll
remember
call
the
me
first,
everything.
I remember the first time I read your last name. I'm like, what the hell is his last name?
It's I like it though, but it's a weird one. Um, People just at work started calling me Pilks. It's just an abbreviation of my last name. It's easier to say than Pilkington. And that one stuck for a couple of years now. Everyone just calls me Pilks at work. Even people I go to church with call me Pilks.
Yeah, so that's kind of the difference if you hear that.
So both nicknames work. It doesn't matter. I prefer Blano. That's my original nickname, right?
So just a
But
little bit more background on you.
mhm.
How old are you? You know what I mean? Tell the
Good
people.
question. Good question. I'm 28, soon
Where
to be 29.
where you living at? We don't need specifics.
No, I hear you. I
You
hear
know
you.
what I
But I'm
mean?
living in New Mexico. I'm living in New Mexico. Not from here originally though.
Moved out there how long ago?
We're coming up on 3 years.
No.
We're a little past 2.5 years now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flip side to you, where you
There it
live?
is.
Where
So
you
we're out
living?
here in Oklahoma. Oh, Sooner State.
Oklahoma.
Obviously originally from Indiana, like Blano.
Yeah.
We lived in Florida for a little bit over 3 years actually, which is
How'd you
crazy.
like that? Did you like it?
We talk about it still to
Yeah.
this day, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I keep telling Blano, I'm excited to see. Well, I'm not excited at all. Actually, we're just waiting to see. I guess is the better verbiage for it. To see how the
Right.
winter is, because we haven't been in a winter in
And
3
you are back
years.
in the Midwest now, right?
No, this is the Great Plains. We've
Great
talked
Plains.
about that
You're in
too.
the
We're
stack.
not in the Midwest, man. We're not.
I
Do
just
we need to
assume
pull up a
everything.
map? I'll pull up a map. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull up a map. There's gonna be a
But
map edited in now, just so Blano can see that it's the Great Plains.
good reminder. I remember driving through the Great Plains, but I don't
Yes.
want to get sidetracked.
That's a
That
whole nother
was rough.
story. See?
A whole other one.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're back in the middle of the country, right? So you've been living in humid, muggy, like sunny year-round Florida, and now you're back in the middle of the country where
Kind of
it's known to get
gloomy.
cold.
Feels
Yep.
like death's around you. Eric and
That's
I
just
haven't
smart
seen
people.
mud in 3 years, and it's terrible to see again. Like, to step in mud feels disgusting. I hate it. That alone makes us possibly move back to Florida. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't know. We'll see what
Hightail it back.
happens. Might go to Arizona. We've talked about that,
Arizona is beautiful,
We
man.
were out there
It
for two
really
weeks.
is.
Yeah, we were out there for 2 weeks last summer, and I mean, we loved it.
For vacation?
Yeah, we loved it out there in
Yeah. Okay.
Scottsdale. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
super
Arizona
nice.
is beautiful.
But yeah, not to get into it too much, but we obviously whole Colorado thing. We really wanted to live out
Mhm.
there too, but at the same time, like I tell Erica, I'm happy we didn't, because it's one of those things where I see where their state's at right now, and
It was
we're not
yeah.
gonna get into all that right now, obviously, but it's bad right now. It's bad.
Well, and think you guys moved out there 4 years ago, right? Before it started down this path,
Yeah,
it was about 4 years ago, right?
yeah, roughly.
So it was kind of bad 4 years ago, but now 4 years later, Colorado's rough, right?
It's
Politically,
rough. No,
politically.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna get into all of it, obviously, because obviously it's a
Yeah.
touchy subject, but it's yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, for that reasoning, I'm definitely happy we didn't stay or move out there, I guess. But yeah,
Hey,
moving on from that, um, yeah, so Blano, what other than you said you like to go to the gym, you like to do you
right?
do any traveling?
So no, but yes. I love to travel, right?
Yep,
Like the Lord made the world massive,
it's
right? We
huge.
live on this massive planet. It's huge,
People don't
right? And
realize it.
it's I mean, you could fit Texas into basically all of Europe, and that's just Texas, right? I love to travel. I want to travel. I want to go see like the European countries, the Balkans, Greece, Italy. Like I would love to.
That's where Eric and I
Um,
are too. Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, our economy nowadays is rough. I just got a 12 pack of eggs an hour ago, and it was $6 for a 12
Oh
pack.
man, this
You
is a
know,
whole nother discussion right here,
It's-
Blano.
it's-
You're entering into a void realm here, man. We got an audio cut out. Your audio cut.
how about now?
You're good.
Testing.
You're on.
Good.
You're on.
Good. My bad. New
Yeah,
mic,
you're good.
sensitive.
You're good. Go ahead.
So, stuck between that, I really want to travel, but also at the same time, I want to keep a roof over my head, right?
Oh, I get it.
So,
Oh man, I get
kind
it,
of one
dude.
of
That's the
you know,
conundrum of life right there, man. Yeah, I mean,
right there.
like I said,
Yeah.
Eric and I are blessed because we're able to a little bit more often than most people. You know what I mean? We usually
Sure.
we
Right.
usually leave like 2 to 3 times a year. You know what I mean? Go
Right.
different
Right.
places. Go back to Indiana. Like I said, go to
See
Arizona.
family and
Yeah,
stuff.
But like since we had lived in Florida, we hadn't really done much, so that's why we went to Arizona. Because typically Florida's the vacation state, right?
Typically,
You know
people
what I
go to
mean?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Now, what side of Florida did you guys go?
the whole time we lived in Florida, we lived on the Gulf Coast, which is the beautiful side. Atlantic side, I I hate sharks, and it's scary out there. To be honest with you, it's dark waters, and I don't like it. But my whole life, that's all we vacationed on was the East Coast of Florida, and
Okay.
that's the Atlantic side for people who don't know. But we vacationed in Fort Lauderdale for a week to 2 weeks every summer, and when I was younger, I was never afraid of none of that, but as I got older, I value my life a little bit more. So
Right.
I steer clear of that. But yeah, so we lived out there in Cape Coral,
Okay.
nearest to Fort Myers, I guess, would be the bigger city that people would probably know. But yeah, it was Blano never visited, by the way, so.
Never. I mean, I'll reference the 3 minutes ago. It was, do I want to keep a roof over my head or do I want to go visit?
Hey, you
You know
gotta
what I
do what
mean?
you gotta do, man.
But
The economy's
I
terrible.
really wanted to. What was it? 3 years ago, we were just coming out of COVID, right? We were still in COVID,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, essentially,
Uh,
yeah. That was a
and
whole fiasco.
dude.
That was a.
I remember.
Oh man, that was a fiasco right there, dude. That's when you got out of Indiana, though.
Yeah, I got out of Indiana right on the tail end of COVID,
Yeah.
2022 time.
Yeah.
But I mean, even that conversation in and of itself is a big one because Indianapolis, when COVID hit Indianapolis, dude, like everything shut down.
Oh, I remember.
Everything shut down.
It was crazy.
I remember trying to find a job, but everyone was like, "We're shutting down now. We're laying you off. You'd work at a place for a week."
You really could not
Couldn't
find one.
Nope.
Not at
Nope.
all. You
So
could not find a job. It was nuts. I remember that.
Nope.
Yeah, I remember applying for a ton of jobs on Indeed and stuff like that because, like you just said, everybody got canned. So it was rough waters for sure. And then they just started handing out $750 a week
to people. Yeah, I mean
that's unemployment, dude. Erica got that, dude. It was crazy. It literally, she went from making less money than that a week to making more money from the government a week than she was when she was working and not working.
Right. And that was across America.
And that's why the economy is how it is today. And that's why inflation is so bad.
I agree. I think that's a big part of it for sure.
$750 a freaking week. Dude, for like
Can you imagine?
8 months. For like 8 months, dude. I mean, there was a time I started drinking Jack Daniels a lot during that time because there was nothing to do. Eric and I just were getting drunk, just to be honest with you. I mean, COVID was making people alcoholics. They were, it was just ruining people's lives.
You could that too, but like you have young kids, right? Who their social upbringing has now been just destroyed because they're used to going to see their friends, going to school. Now they're not for years.
Yep.
Some kids I knew, like they left like junior year, their senior year school shut down, and they just graduated from online, and they just stopped seeing their friends.
I mean,
so
go ahead. Sorry.
All these social ramifications. No, you're good. All these ramifications. People aren't working. People aren't leaving their home. What else is? I know what I did. I played WoW 20 hours a day. What the fuck else was there to do?
Hey, me too, man.
What the fuck else was there to do?
That's when a lot of people started streaming.
Thankfully we had.
That's what saturated that market.
Yeah, the streaming culture boomed. I remember watching people like Asmongold and Tim the Tapman.
Yeah.
Just
crazy,
booming.
Dude. I mean, insane money that it just. I mean, that's another reason, in my opinion. These people shouldn't be making that much money. They're making more money than athletes, which athletes already, in my opinion, make too much money. I mean, why are you paying baseball people, $109 million for 10 years or $1 billion for 10 years? Like, I seen some crazy contracts like that.
What's that one guy? He's on the Dodgers now, I want to say. Shohei Ohtani. Like he got deferred. Like
I know some of them, but not by name like that.
I just know he has like the biggest contract.
Yeah, I think it's probably what I'm referring to then, the $1 billion.
Yeah. But it's deferred over like however many years.
Yeah, it's
right.
Like
he never
15,
has to do a
20
thing
years.
again.
Like, dude, how are you getting a $1 billion contract?
And he never has to do a thing again.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's got $1 billion. But no, that's a good subject to bring up. You could think about like what about people who are doing construction. Who are building America.
Who built the stadium that they're playing in?
They're playing at. What about teachers who are teaching the kids and teaching the next generation and even after that
people who start these businesses.
Right, they're making
Yeah, they're making pennies on the dollar.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's the thing. Money isn't everything in life, right?
No,
it's not. But it is nice to be able to not have to. Should I get eggs or beans this week? You know what I mean?
Yeah, those ramen noodles are looking better and better every week. You know what I mean?
Man.
39 cents a bag or a pack.
Eating some ice soup for dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But obviously that's an extreme on both ends. But that's a good conversation to talk about because what needs to change? Can anything change?
I mean, yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's gonna take everybody to change, but that's never gonna happen, right? Because it's like not everybody's gonna change. Not everybody
Exactly.
wants to change. Nobody. Some people, some people don't care.
Exactly.
Plainly.
Exactly. But you get 10% of the population who doesn't care. 10% of the American population is what, 100 million? No, 10 million?
Yeah.
If you imagine 10 million people not working, not contributing, whatever, that fluctuates the economy, everything else. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree totally, man. Yeah, just another subject. What would you say the coolest vacation you've been on is? Because I know you. I remember that one time you drove with your dad, I think, to Vegas, right? I don't know how you.
no, we actually flew.
Oh,
We
did you?
actually flew out there. Yeah, it was the summer before COVID hit, so 2019. I didn't really like Vegas all that much. This was back when I didn't want to be around people either, and Vegas is the biggest hub in America for
Yep.
a lot of people. I would say the coolest vacation. That's actually a really good question. Coolest vacation. In terms of like sentimental value, I would say the the summer I was 14. I went to Florida, met some really cool friends out there that I'm still friends with to this day. Um, just met a lot of, I was young, full life ahead of me. Thought I was king shit, right? But just meeting all these, other kids and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's Florida. Everyone's been
I
to Florida.
remember
Well,
that.
not
Yeah.
everyone. I
No, I
can't say
mean,
that.
yeah, no, a majority though, I would say. But I would say
Yeah.
like that's definitely like obviously when like I told you already, when we went to Florida a lot when I was younger. And dude,
Hmm.
I remember,
Yeah.
me, my brother, my sister, we all played like old school RuneScape. And I remember, dude,
Right.
meeting these kids, and they all had old school RuneScape accounts, and we all got together in the computer lab or whatever they had back in the, because we stayed in
Little
like a
cafe
resort,
lounge.
yeah, we stayed in like a resort
Right.
style, and they
Yeah.
had like a computer lounge. So I remember all of us
Hmm.
going down like after everybody got done, going to the beach, and then getting ice cream or whatever with their parents. We'd all meet in there, and
And
everybody get on RuneScape, be
it's
chopping
time to grind
trees
some
together,
RuneScape.
whatever. Yeah, dude. Some of
But
the,
it's those memories. It's those memories that you create, right? You
yeah.
probably have never seen those kids
Oh
since
yeah,
then,
no.
right?
I
You've probably
remember we
never.
like all added each other, and then like,
Hmm.
everybody went home, and then you never talked to them again, or you never seen them back
Right.
online, or whatever.
But for that 1 week, that one night, you created some really cool memories with some people that are living their own life, right?
Yeah,
And you met them in Florida because they're all
yeah.
vacationing there too.
It's always Florida. Florida's the hub.
It's always Florida. Florida is the hub. It's the main spot.
You been
But I
drinking
think the
water over
most
there,
beautiful
Blano?
place. I drank like 200 ounces today at work.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
enjoying my diet, diet Dr Pepper.
Oh man.
Diet.
Are you a Dr.
Uh,
Pepper person? Real quick, sorry.
man, oh
Dude,
man,
that's
I love
Erica.
me some Dr Pepper.
That's Erica, dude.
I love me
She
some
loves
Dr
Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper, dude.
It's the greatest, man.
She's
It's
like,
better than Coke,
she's like,
Pepsi.
she's like, I could survive off of Dr. Pepper and gummy worms.
That's all you need. All the nutrients you need right there.
Yep. I'm like, oh, you
I work
can't do
guy.
that, but
It's got water in it, I think.
I mean, you
Yeah, it's
drink
got
enough
water.
of it, your body's gonna just try to produce it.
Right. Um, no, I worked with a buddy who all he drank was Dr Pepper. I never saw him drink anything else.
That's
Like, how you
crazy.
doing, man? How
That's
you
how Ben is,
surviving?
man. He's a
Right?
big Dr. Pepper guy too.
It's just good. It's a good
It's
soda.
an acquired taste, in my opinion. I've never.
You
I'm,
don't like you
I'm
don't
not a.
like Dr
I'm not. I don't
Pepper?
drink any soda though. You'll never
That's
catch me drinking
I
a
will
soda.
say I will say I think sodas are incredibly unhealthy for
They
you.
are, man.
I do.
That's why I don't drink them. I
I'll be
don't
the
drink.
first to admit
I will
that.
not drink a
They're
soda,
so
dude.
bad.
I get it
They're
anytime.
so bad.
The only time I ever drink a soda in my adult life typically is if I'm at like a movie theater or something like that, which I never really go
Sure.
to. But
Right.
the sorry, Erica just poked me. No, so like at a movie theater or something like that is when I'll drink a soda, but I'll get like an
Sure.
instant headache from it.
Okay, I'm
So
stuttering.
it's like
but
I'm done.
Do you know
I
why?
can't. Yeah, I think it's the sugar.
It's the sugar, dude.
But see, it's like
your body
I enjoy a Red Bull here and there, which has sugar in it,
it has sugar in it, sure.
but I don't get like a
think so.
headache from it. So I think it's got to be maybe it's like maybe it's the caffeine with the sugar and all that jazz. If I drink too much of it, and the only soda I will drink, I'll tell you this right now, is either root beer or Sprite.
Root beer is amazing, and Sprite is good too.
Yeah, Sprite's good. He's right up there too. Yeah, you know what I mean?
There. You know what I'm saying?
A good crispy McDonald's Sprite. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
boy,
out the fountain.
Boy,
out the fountain.
Back in the day, especially. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
big time.
No, this has been real good, man. I don't know how much longer we're gonna do this. We've been talking for I don't know, an hour now. It feels like.
I have no idea.
We've just been shooting the shit.
What's it at? Yeah, it's at 32. So not
32 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not bad. But but going forward though, I think this would be a good topic. What are you wanting to kind of dissect and talk about first? Like if you wanted to dedicate one session, what would you talk about?
It's a good question, Lino. It's a good question. It's like it's all about just, keeping it real, keeping it relatable, keeping it fun, most importantly. I don't know, first session, it's like it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to deep dive too much right into something like a hardcore topic like we've said. But I think something good would be probably, I would say just because, I enjoy fitness. I mean, I would say you enjoy fitness for sure. You don't have the most time, obviously, but I would say jumping into like how unhealthy America is. Because I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you a quick statistic. Oklahoma is one of the top fattest states at 40% people. 40% people in Oklahoma are obese.
So what is that in? I mean, let's not get into it too much. I definitely want to talk about that. But what do you think is
I think that would be my first topic. I don't know if that's a good, you know what I mean?
I mean, again, it's not like to offend anybody, right?
No,
but
it's facts. I mean, it's just facts. I mean, how could you be mad about that, right? Like it's factual.
Right. But maybe some people feel like you're poking at them, right? You're point and blame, whatever. But again, this is all like real life conversations with two buddies, right? It's
yeah. I mean, like I said, we both enjoy fitness. You can enjoy fitness. I mean, this would be a perfect thing would be is for you featured on this, even though you're part of it, but you featured on this because you can talk about how you don't have enough time and you're trying to find that work life balance where you know what I'm saying?
Balance.
Yeah.
Right, especially when you pair it with, I'm an avid gamer. You're an avid gamer, right? That's one hobby I love.
Yeah.
Yes. I love to read and I love to go to church functions. I love my Bible study and prayer meetings. So how can you fit prayer meeting, Bible study, your hobbies plus work? And then also on top of that, taking care of yourself. And I think that all circles back to obesity in America, I think is two things: your diet and lack of exercise.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Then what consists of that diet? People are living off of like gas station food, fast food. That stuff is like highly processed garbage.
Yeah, and your really mental. Is. I mean, your mental too, right? Like,
yes,
how you're viewing it, right? Are you just accepting it because you're like, oh no, it's easier just to, be obese. It's easier to be 400 pounds than it is to, start working out because. But at the end of the day, you got to remember this: you've done it to yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like, unless you have an underlying disease, that's the only exception. You know what I mean? If you have an underlying disease, because. If not, it's like you've done it to yourself at some level. And at one point in your life, you ate too much, or you know what I mean, or whatever. You didn't work out. But if you have a disease or something like that makes total sense. You know what I mean? I mean, thyroid disease, stuff like that, diabetics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those medical dilemmas that people have, right? That make it hard to
make
to
it less
exercise.
Yeah, it's a little bit like less desirable because it's less achievable because you have something else going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I hear you. So, I mean, what would be the, here's what I'll say. it sucks, right? It sucks when you get off from a 12-hour shift and you're like, I still got to take care of the kids. I got to go home to the wife. I'm not married, but you're married. You have a wife and kid,
Right.
right? But and again, we've talked about it, but the work life. But when you're faced with that challenge of, okay, I have to do X, Y, Z, but it's also very important for me to take care of my own self, my own body, not for prideful reasons. I'm not talking for vanity, but just
Right.
for your health.
Right.
It's that time when you have to say, you know what, it sucks, I'm tired, but I have to make the right decision. What's the right decision? I don't know what that right decision is for people. Like for me, it's I gotta go run.
Yeah, no,
Running.
that's what I was just about to say. I always think about it like this, man. And if I need a little bit of motivation, I might look at something on YouTube or something, runners motivation. I never need motivation to do weights. Weights are always, that's just part of my life. But running, I've recently got into because I've thought to myself, I'm about to enter my 30s. I'm trying to be in the best. This is when stuff really starts going downhill. You know what I mean? So I've
Yeah.
got to be in the best physical peak shape of my life. Like I told you, I got my mile down to 8:25, and I was running when I was in Florida. When I first started running miles again. I'm on my 7th or 8th week now. I was running like 10, 15 miles. You know what I mean? 10 minute, 15 second.
Which is
I'm
still
down to 8:25 now. And at a higher elevation.
8-minute miles are still really good,
I mean,
right?
the average for our age group, the average, like, to be average is like, I think it's like 9 to 9.5 minutes.
Mhm.
So it's about a minute faster than the average, or 30 seconds faster than the average, which I'm happy with. Shit, you know.
Right. That's a good milestone that you've achieved just through, for you've had years of solid exercise and
And
solid
it's just discipline, like you just said. What it's like I don't want to, I think to myself, but it only takes 10 minutes of my life. You know what I mean?
right.
It
And it's
literally takes
faced with
10 minutes. That's you going to the restroom, sitting down, looking on your phone for 10 minutes, and then getting up. You probably go to the restroom and do that longer. You know what I mean? Like,
right. You
you
get
watch a
sucked into that
15-minute
mindless scrolling.
YouTube
Right.
video.
Right.
You know?
But isn't it crazy how 10 minutes of solid aerobic exercise can drastically improve your life?
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
drastically.
And
Even if you do yoga every night, it's something. It's huge, man.
stretching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
there's
really good.
apps all over the place. Erica started doing yoga, and now she's been going to the gym with me for the last almost 2 years. You know?
And I bet you're loving it, right?
Oh yeah,
I bet you look back 2 years from now, 2 years ago from now, and say, man, I was always winded. I had brain fog. My joints hurt. My feet hurt. But I've spent the last 2 years progressively getting healthier and healthier, more fit. And now life is not that full of fitness equates to perfect life,
right.
but
But it does help
your your quality of life does go up,
because
right?
everybody looks at themselves in the mirror at some point in the day, and you gotta love yourself essentially. You know what I mean? Not trying to sound weird with it, but you know what I'm saying. It's like you gotta love yourself. So
No,
it's like if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm okay with how I look. You know what I mean? Then it's like
right.
self acceptance, I guess.
I mean, we're our own biggest critic, right?
Right.
You're your own biggest
Oh
critic. I'm
yeah.
my own biggest critic. I can
Cause
look at myself and say, no, I need to do this, this, and this, and this. This is where I'm failing. But I mean, we're all living life, right?
yeah,
It's one step at a time. It's one day at a
yeah,
time. Lord willing. So
yeah.
that's a great topic, and I definitely want to. Obviously, we've been talking about it for the last
Yeah,
7 minutes
that's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying. So real quick question for you. So since
Yeah.
that's gonna be episode 2 now. Since this is episode 1,
Okay.
obviously that'll be episode 2. What's episode 3? What's Blano? What's your first one you want to
Ep-
dive into? Because I think mine's a pretty solid one there, man.
That is a really good choice. First choice. I mean, because it's hitting a really good topic that's rampant, right? Um, I have a lot of topics that I want to talk about,
I think it's like I said,
but I
like I went into detail with what I was saying before. There's a lot of really hot ones, but you gotta try to find
hmm
one that's not as hot, right? Like we gotta save those ones. So,
right,
what
right.
with that in mind,
I think honestly, one topic that it is burning a hole in my heart is
it's
and we've talked about it, we've touched base on it, is the over sexualization and the rampant sexualization of social media, of everyday life.
Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
There it is.
It's gonna be a really good one.
Yeah, I agree.
The travesty there is some people can't see it, or they're so desensitized to the amount of how do I say it?
Over sexualization that they show in the world now. I mean, essentially,
there you go.
That's essentially
is,
just to wrap it up.
You could watch an ad on YouTube, right? You're watching a YouTube clip, watching Asmongold kill shit, and then here comes an ad, and it's a woman in lingerie.
Oh
right?
man, I see that on YouTube all the time. I'll be scrolling down. I'm like, what is this? I have to hide it or I have to stop seeing this ad. I don't understand why I'm seeing. Oh, do you want to have a what do they call that? Mail order bride? No,
I'm good.
You know what I mean? I don't understand. Why am I seeing this? Why is it even being shown?
I mean, that's another topic, right? Just ads, people paying hundreds of dollars to fucking force ads. But that's the travesty. That's how normal it is just we're seeing stuff like that.
It's normalized. Yeah, that's the problem with it, right? That's what we're gonna dive into. Before we get too into it, man. Yeah, tell them.
That's gonna be a 2-hour podcast for sure. I can already see it now.
Yeah, I can see. I'm not gonna lie. I can see 2 going pretty long too. To be honest with you.
Yes, I mean we've already touched base on a few things, but there's so much we could talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, whether you guys are commuting, chilling at home, looking for something new to listen to, we hope you guys will tune in to future episodes and join us on this journey.
Yeah, right on. Luke, thank you for the outro. It was a pleasure doing this. This is our first episode, y'all. This is the LP show. I'm Pilks, and this is Luke.
I'm Luke. Make sure you guys subscribe, leave a review, hit us up. Any topics, questions you guys want us to cover, we're definitely here for it. So if you want to send us off.
All right, guys. This is the LP show. I'm Pilks. Have a good night.
All right, fellas. Y'all have a good one. Fellas and ladies, y'all have a good one.
Thank you for watching. This is the LP show.